our names on the grid?
Sure, if you want to. Okay. In fact, why don't you put your names on the paper, because I'm going to collect all this at the end. In 5th grade math, we are working on understanding decimal operations, including place value. We're looking at addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and really building the conceptual understanding of those operations by using a variety of models and strategies. So, we're going to start our lesson. Today's grappling problem. Would you like to read for us, Grayson?
Zoe owns 2 5/58 acres of land. She wants to create 6 equal-sized gardens.
So in today's class, I began with a grapple.
So she can have plots for 6 different crops. How large will each garden be?
Take about 5 minutes to work independently, 5 to 10 minutes. I gave them a hundredths grid, knowing that we've worked with those in the past. Just go ahead and approach that problem how you think you can solve it. A good grapple problem is one that's challenging. Students might have some idea of how to enter into it. We have worked with division of whole numbers, so students have this idea of what division is as an operation, but the grappling part came in because it was a decimal, and they weren't sure what to do with those numbers.
Today during the grapple time, at first I was taking one part of the number and I was breaking it up, and that one part of it got me confused and it didn't work very well.
It was right on target, I felt, because they knew enough to say, I have this idea, I think I know what's asking me to do, but now I really have to figure out how do I divide 58 hundredths by 6.
I think it's good to try something before you get taught, because there's just pieces of a math problem that you kind of have to piece together, and if you just learn how to do that one way, you can't piece them all together and understand the problem better.
If I notice that perhaps it's too challenging for a child, what do you know?
And you do 2.58 divided by 6.
And so you have a good feeling it's a division. You're taking this. My role is to help that student find an entry point into it by asking questions, maybe giving just some kind of a clue or a hint. Okay, you want to try that? You just going to start 2 plus squares. Giving them a chance to continue with the grapple, so they're not just stuck and stand still. Okay, so students, you've had a chance to work on it on your own. Are you ready to kind of pair share and have a little discussion about it? After the independent grapple problem, we have a discussion time. I'll give you about 5 minutes to talk with your partners, and then we'll open up to the whole table group. Look at our anchor chart. Remember how we talk in our discussions. Everyone has a chance to speak. We're taking turns. We're proving our solutions.
This is half of a whole, so what's half of that?
No, this isn't half of a whole. Remember, this is 58.
If you're in a group, people kind of tell you the answers. So first you have to grapple and try and find the answer on your own. And then I think it's important to work as a group to maybe, like, even if the person got it wrong, they might give you a hint. And then you might be like, oh, I know how to do this now. And then you can help them.
What's 58 divided into 6 parts?
She's counted by tenths. Probably not 1. What were you doing? During the discussion, I was looking to see which students were using the models appropriately. Could they divide up the grids into 6 parts? I was looking to see if they could use the partial quotients. You could see a lot of place value understanding. I was using that knowledge as I was walking around to help me figure out what to do in the focus part of the workshop. 2.58 down here. So try that. How was your discussion? Good. Okay, was it a good grapple problem?
Yeah.
After this discussion, we moved into the focus part of the workshop, in which I shared the learning target with the students. I can divide a decimal by a whole number using a visual model and a strategy of partial quotients. Today was important to unpack the learning target because I knew it was going to be a challenge. How about decimal? Why is this tricky with decimal?
It's not a whole numbers, and we're usually used to working with whole numbers.
We haven't worked with a lot of decimals of division. So to really have the students articulate what was going to be the important concepts we're going to work on today comes across when you unpack that learning target. Mia was using partial quotients, but I liked what she was thinking. She's just going to start with the 1/10. I heard students say that, well, let's just put 1/10 in each garden. And so that's why I started drawing the circles. Circling 1/10, 1/10, 1/10. It's really important to show that connection, though, to the partial quotient strategy that I drew on the side. Make this connection to show the partial quotient strategy connected to this visual. Okay. Do I still have 6/10 to go? Yeah. Okay. And so we continue on in that process. What'd you get, class? 4,300. Okay, 4,300. I want you to look at this partial. I purposely started with the inefficient model and then moved along the way to a more efficient strategy.
I did it a quicker way. Instead of having them all in ones, I did it 2.2.
Okay, which one's more efficient? You just have to use your numbers. So I like to keep the focus time short. Teachers can get lost sometimes in discussion, but if we know we want this time to be very deliberate about this strategy, a very efficient way to look what happens. Where do we immediately get to? The 1,800. Students can get what they need and then go on to practice. Are you ready for the work?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this. I'm going to pass out your worksheet. Okay, give you a chance to apply what you just learned. If you're going to work with me, we're going to work on problem number 2. So, Tabitha? During the application time, I was now able to meet the needs of those students who needed some differentiation. So I worked with the students in the guided practice, kind of got them started. If I give 1 penny to each hour,
That would take a long time.
it would take a long time. That's right, Asia. Students who maybe needed a little extension or a little push. So I wanted to see where they were, what they were doing, and I could kind of say, let's try something different. Let's try, to use this other strategy. What's another strategy you think you can push yourself with?
Well, I don't think kids mind if they get the grapple wrong because it's kind of practice at the beginning and then you learn more of it after Giselle explains it. And that's when you really get the hang of it, and that's when you can do it yourself.
We end our class with a synthesis, and I think it's a great time for all of us to reflect on the day. For students to think about if they were successful with the learning targets and the content, the process. Was the lesson too hard, too challenging? We know we worked with this concept today, division of decimals with partial quotients. So it's a time for us to think of where we're going next. What do you think of some other strategies that we might be able to explore with dividing decimals? So I'll just go around and share. Ian, what do you think?
You can do a ratio table.
They have some experience with these strategies from whole numbers. The algorithm. How do we get to the algorithm? So it's wonderful to see them try to transfer that knowledge, trying to think about how would I apply that now into decimal. So partial quotient, we use the grids. I could tell they want to go ahead. They want to move forward. They want to know what's going to come next.
Get this in.
Sounds like you're ready to kind of explore that. So teaching mathematics this way, giving students a chance to just grapple, to just persevere, work hard, and I think an honors student ownership of problem-solving mathematics helps them become more confident in their problem-solving abilities, not to be afraid of math. Good? Feeling good about today? Yep. All right, nicely done. Thank you. Can you put all of your papers together, please? I'm going to collect your work. I want your work. Make sure it's all nice and tucked together.